everyone, and welcome to this week's Clean Water Minute. I'm Sam Briggs, and I'm the Save Our Streams Manager for the IWLA.
And I'm Emily Bialowis, the Chesapeake Monitoring Outreach Coordinator for the IWLA.
And today we're going to do a macroinvertebrate sample for bugs using our Save Our Streams biological monitoring protocol.
For this protocol, we use a kick-seine net. It is 3 feet by 3 feet, and it has a mesh size of 1/32 inches.
So the first thing that we need to do is choose an appropriate riffle when we are sampling. Now, a riffle is really important because it's where the water bubbles over the rocks and churns up the water, and it causes dissolved oxygen to get put back into the water. So our bugs like to live there. We'll find the most different diversity of bugs in that area. So this honestly looks like a pretty good riffle right here. It's almost like I planned it. But you can see that the water is churning over those rocks and creating those bubbles and those little white caps in our stream there. So the first thing we do is get in the stream with our net. You need 2 people for this. So I'm going to get in the stream downstream of where our sample is, and I'm going to place our net in, kind of holding it like a wheelbarrow, and at an angle so that water is flowing through it, but not over the net. So Emily chose a great spot here. You can see we have the riffles going over the rocks, and that's how we know we're going to find some good habitat for our macroinvertebrates. So the first thing I need to do is you'll notice that some of the water may be scooting underneath the net because we don't have it anchored down. So I'm going to take rocks from my sample area and anchor down the bottom of the net. So our sample area is this space right in front of the net, approximately 3 feet by 3 feet. So that's the area that I'm working in right here. So I'm going to anchor down the bottom. That seems pretty good. It doesn't seem to have a lot of flow underneath, and it's going all over and into the net. The next thing I need to do is I need to rub the rocks that I find in our sample area to dislodge the macroinvertebrates from those rocks so they flow into the net. These macros, they like to cling to those rocks. They don't want to float downstream. So by rubbing the rocks, we'll dislodge them and they'll flow in. The important thing to remember here is we're going to pick up the rocks and rub them underwater with our hands. I'm not rubbing 2 rocks together because we don't want bug soup. We want to make sure that those bugs stay intact. So I'm being gentle when I rub these rocks under the water and they're flowing into the net here. If you're ever worried about if you're doing a good job rubbing, you can always take a look and make sure that you're cleaning off that rock. Then I set the rocks to the side and move on to the next one. I'm going to do this for about 40 seconds. Not about, 40 seconds exactly. Make sure you have a timekeeper. Setting the rocks to the side. We're looking at cobble-sized rocks, so think lemons to cantaloupes in size here. Once my 40 seconds are up, I'm going to move on to disturbing the substrate. Now, you can do this in a couple different ways. You can use your fingers to disturb that soil underneath there. If you are worried you're in an urban stream, maybe there's some debris, some glass, some sharp rocks, you can also move your feet. So you're going to kick your toes up to disturb that substrate, and you'll notice that the water's running brown. That means I'm doing a good job. I'm not going to do the twist because that's just grinding our bugs down. We want to kick them up and into the net. So you're going to do that for 20 seconds. Make sure your timekeeper keeps you in check. And then, when we're done with that, we need to take these rocks and rub them off as well that are anchoring down our net. Some of those macros that we dislodged, they might have clung to these rocks. So we want to make sure we're cleaning those off as well. And one more. All right. And to finish up, 2 people pick up the net together. So Sam, will you help lift this up without allowing the water to flow over the top? And then for safety, and just because it's easier, pass it off to one person. And we bring it over to our table where we can see what we found. Yeah, so it looks like we found a fish in here. So he's moving pretty fast. We don't use these in our macroinvertebrate sample, so we can just toss them right back. They need a lot more oxygen, so we want to make sure we're putting them back so they don't die. Macroinvertebrates are really great because they have different water quality pollution tolerances. So some of these bugs that we find are really, really tolerant. Some of them are really, really sensitive to pollution. So that means depending on which ones we find, we can know a little bit more about our water quality and we can decide if our stream is excellent, good, fair, or poor. So make sure you visit us at IWLA.org/SOS for more info on Save Our Streams and our biological monitoring protocols. And tune in next week for our Clean Water Minute, where we're going to talk about Salt Watch. Winter is coming.